This video was requested by channel member Sean Taylor 424, a story about how even a broken clock can be in the right twice a day. Flash baddies, we've seen a fair few of them on this channel already, with more to come soon. And most Central City supervillains have one recurring feature that helps them stand out amongst the legions of dooms they're usually involved with. They actually seem to have each other's back. Usually, supervillains are all about looking after number one. They do crime because they think they deserve to be above others in society. They all think they should be the king, and even when a bigger threat comes along and most of them throw in with their arch nemesis immediately, it's purely through self-preservation. But when a big bad comes calling, our boys the rogues are usually on the side of justice, because there's no bank to rob if Darkseid steamrolls the whole planet, is there? If only the rest of DC's villains could be so nice. But when someone, or something, comes along with an offer to make the bad guys into the very worst versions of themselves, to truly pull out the inner demon within the costumed criminals, the superstitious cowardly lot give our heroes something to fear. Underworld Unleashed gives the bad guys a power-up, but one rogue in particular decides to not deal with the devil. Who tricks? The Trickster. Our story begins when futuristic showman Abracadabra offers his old buddies the Flash Rogues power unlike they've ever had before. Kadabra claims he's working for someone who can make all the villains' evilest dreams come true, and Captain Cold, Boomerang, Heatwave, Mirror Master, and Weather Wizard are all in. Each rogue is given a specific target to hit, alone, with the final goal of creating 5 huge fires all around the world. Rogues don't usually deal in random destruction, but if it's not Central City burning, I suppose they don't give a shit. Don't ask me how Cold started a fire with his blizzard gun, but as each succeeds in their mission, they fail to remember that wizards like Kadabra deal in misdirection. The flames fill the skies, supernaturally scorching the earth, but all the villains feel is the cold touch of evil on their souls. Wait, no, Abracadabra, you cock. The rogues are all dying. My favourite DC villains are burned to dust by hellfire from the very being they just set free. Leonard! Mick! Unwittingly, their work was done, and now the fires they set burn across the earth, empowering an ancient evil, the likes of which have never been seen. But dude, evil on DC's earth? Not if the goddamn Justice League have anything to say about it. The Flash, Crimson Fox, Nuklon, I think he was in Infinity Inc., Fire, she's hot, Martian goddamn Manhunter, Wonder Woman, and the Blue friggin' Devil. Blue Devil rules. These heroes answer the call to action. But as these super friends spring into action, the more magically inclined Blue Devil notices something about the layout of the flames that chills him through his devil suit. And this guy was an actor, so he's good at seeing plot twists coming. The fires the rogues lit map out a perfect pentagram. Meanwhile, we check in on the one rogue who wasn't invited to Abracadabra's backstabber, the Trickster. Jesse James has grown disillusioned with his life of crime. It's like his boring life can't keep up with his cunning brain. He needs a challenge, he needs something to shake him up. And then, he reads about the deaths of his teammates. The rogues' obituaries strike a chord in Trickster. Cool as they were, the rogues died as barely more than street hoods, never hitting their full potential. But that won't be me, promises Jesse. In the name of what the rogues could have been, he's gonna reach for the stars. And our mate Jesse isn't the only villain with renewed confidence. There's a riot at Belle Rev Prison. Chock full of the world's vilest villains, dark machinations create a perfect storm of circumstance that unleashes evildoers from all across DC. Is that crazy quilt? If that sick bastard is loose, we're all dead. 142 supervillains are on the loose, Christ, and ironically it'll be the Justice League who get the death penalty now. But out of all these criminals, the one we want to focus on isn't even here. But 1 week later, here he is now. The Trickster's new dreams of hitting the big time have started off a bit slower than he would have liked, but he has reunited with his most colourful criminal cohort, the Rainbow Raider. And the Raider tips Trickster off to something that just might bring light back to Jesse's life. A mysterious green candle. Rainbow Raider and all the rest of the Bell Rev Breakout boys all received the same spooky candle with the promise that if it's lit at the stroke of midnight, it'll open the door to fame, power, and glory. Trickster doesn't believe a word of it, leaving the Rainbow Raider to his brightly hued hopes and dreams. Or does he? The old switcheroo, and Trickster has his ticket to glory. Jesse James wanted a shot at the big time, but this is absolutely one of those careful what you wish for kind of stories. Trickster sparks the candle, but all he finds is darkness. Holy shit, that's a good line. Teleported to a dark hellscape, Trickster finds himself adrift in a sea of villainy, from silly Silver Age scoundrels like Prankster to bigger threats like Metallo and Killer Frost. Whoa, holy shit, watch out! Killer Moth is in the house, and Moon Knight apparently. Trickster, at first, thinks this is a good place to make some new felonious friends, but the kind of criminals assembled here aren't the team-up type. A fight breaks out, but it's quickly dispelled by the bone-chilling voice of the being who summoned them. His name is Neron, and he wants to make a deal. Wait, stop the video. This character here is known as the Fiddler. Of all the supervillain personas you could use, why the hell would you want to be known as a fiddler? Get this man locked up. It's not just the DC shitters like Fiddler that Neron's got on his entourage. Abracadabra finally shows his face after getting my rogues killed. Prick! But Trickster swears Kadabra is one of the craziest bad guys out there, but the only crazy thing I've seen from him is how convoluted his origin story is. This guy's crazy future techno wizardry frightened even the guy who threw boomerangs. Ooh. Here's the cool guys. Lex the Sex Luthor, and Cersei, I'd let her turn me into a pig any day. Polaris, I think he's DC's Magneto, he's even got the colour scheme. Oh, and the Cringer is here as well. Basically, this new bad guy is such a big deal. All the classic villains we know and love are his bitches. No way, dude, he's called the Fiddler, and he's read the Bible. He must be a Catholic priest in his secret identity. Fiddler warns that Neron just might be the actual devil himself. Ooh, Trickster, mate, what have you gotten us into this time? Picture your heart's desire, that which you crave most in the world. Now, imagine having the power to achieve it with ease. I can promise you that power. I ask but a small item in return, something meaningless to you, something you cannot hold or taste or touch, something that isn't yours forever anyway. Call it a vapor or a spirit, or a soul. Words are words. But power can bring you your every ambition. Kadabra, Luthor, Joker, Cersei, Polaris. They have all made the exchange with me. Follow their lead, and together we will trade the failure of the past for the glory of the future. You know, I half thought that Trickster was a bit of a goofball, but while wallowing in the danger he's dug himself into, he manages to figure out that Neron must have been the catalyst for what got his friends killed. Jesse, I apologise. Clearly he's got more to him than I thought. Remember though, Trickster stole his invitation, so he keeps to the shadows, silently watching. While the Trickster looks for the scam, the other villains fall in behind Neron. The charming devil uses his evil wish-granting deals to make monsters of the masked men. See this thing here? That's Killer Moth now. But as he gives the villains their darkest desires, what is it that Neron wants? Apparently, all he wants is for the boosted baddies to go cause as much shit for the Justice League as possible. Could it truly be that simple? That's it? That's all he's after? He creates Sweeps Week in the Underworld and then asks everyone to just go kick butt? That's all? Unlikely, isn't it? Hi. I know I'm kind of an uninvited guest.
Are you James? Or is it possible that I expected you to trick yourself an invitation? Really? How well do you think a paramecium like the Rainbow Raider would fit in here?
So my getting to you was a test? His silence tells me more than I want to know. I'm making all kinds of new friends today. Neron acts as if he's glad to see me, but he's not subjecting me to the same infomercial the others went through. I've about screwed up the courage to ask him why when he speaks.
We're expecting one more guest. An old comrade of yours who received a special invitation. Perhaps you'd like to say hello to Blue Devil.
Where am I? What's going on here?
I knew it! This is all a sting! How many other good guys you rolling out the red carpet for, Neron?
Relax, James. He isn't here for you. Mr. Cassidy has come to explore a new opportunity.
True.
Maybe. I take it from your message that you have something you want to say to me?
Trickster watches on as the devils converse. He briefly considers trying to escape, but then he remembers this is what he wanted? A shot at the big time? He won't die a petty thug like Snart and Mirror Master. It's time for Trickster to get serious. But if the cover of issue 2's any indication, Blue Devil gets the raw end of his deal. Blue Devil? What the hell? Literally this week I made a video for our Halloween specials that includes Dan Cassidy. He was fun and noble in his origin, but here, he accepts Neron's deal, destroying a power station in return for movie stardom for him and his best friend Marla. Shameful, Dan. I'm disappointed. Every little thing seems to be going Neron's way, and he's officially invited Jesse into his satanic inner circle. But within, Trickster wonders what the devil of all people sees in him. Oh yeah, before you ask, the deals for the Beelzebub Brigade. Kadabra got real magic instead of his future gimmicks. Luthor was rejuvenated from a vegetative state. Polaris was only a mental state until Neron's deal gave him control. Cersei just got power. I thought she already had powers, isn't she, like an Amazon? And Joker sold his soul for cigars because he's just so wacky and edgy, isn't he? The Batman cookie bit is funny though. Trickster, however, has yet to agree to anything Neron offers him. In fact, the Demon King seems to have taken Jesse under his wing, a development the villains notice because as soon as Neron leaves, the Legion of Damned start bullying our Jess. Unsurprisingly, the baddies aren't as loyal to Satan as they'd seemed, demanding to know all about Neron's machinations from his right-hand man, the Trickster. Uh-oh, where's Daddy Neron when you need him? Greedy bastard, as if having literally every supervillain on your team isn't enough. Now Neron's offering his dirty deals to the Justice League. Let's see what's on offer. Neron could bring the old Flash, Barry Allen, back to life, but Wally West, the best Flash, tells him to make tracks. Batman is offered a return to life for Jason Todd, the Robin the Joker murdered, but we find out later this kid's alive anyway, so Neron's a Billy bullshitter. World's Greatest Detective closes the case with a no. Green Lantern Kyle Rayner is also offered a loved one revived, his girlfriend Alex, who defined the term character friggin'. This time though, green means stop. But Green Lantern doesn't stop there. Striking Satan wasn't a very bright idea. Neron hits back hard, but he keeps JL alive so he can warn his super friends about the one soul Neron really wants. Meanwhile, with the villains, Trickster's own quick bullshit sets the bad guys against the giant vat of souls Neron's been filling, deal by deal. The crooks think it's the source of Neron's power, and if they crack into it, they'll get a taste of that delicious demon sauce. But guess what, idiots? This was a classic trademark. Trickster trick. Cersei, Kadabra, and Polaris get soul sucked, leaving just Joker and Luthor. And with the way Lex and Joker are staring at each other here, it makes me glad Jesse gives him some privacy. Quick Jess, smash that crystal ball before we find out if Joker's carpet matches his curtains. Neron returns, and he's giddy that Trickster pulled a fast one on his inner circle. I think Neron sees himself in Jesse. Just a cheeky little trickster. Neron still hasn't offered Jesse a deal for his soul, likely because he doesn't want to trade with Trickster. He wants him as his sidekick. But Trickster knows a lie when he hears one, and our villain protagonist decides to unravel the yarn Neron's been spinning. And Trickster's not the only man who sees through Neron shit, but for Blue Devil, it's already too late. The power station he sabotaged to propel himself and his best friend Marlene to the high life ends up bringing Marlene literally crashing down instead. Her helicopter goes down in a blaze, and Blue Devil is furious and responsible. The Justice League assemble at Green Lantern's warning. Neron wants the purest soul on Earth, and if he gets it, he'll be unstoppable, and the League agree that of course the purest soul must be Superman. Where has Superman been, by the way? Where the hell is Big Blue? Off planet? Or could Neron have already ensnared the last son of Krypton? The League decides to face the problem head on. Thanks to Blue Devil's change of heart, the green candle is lit, and the Justice League storm hell itself. All as Neron planned. Satan cackles as Earth's mightiest champions walk up to his front door, willingly entering hell, where he makes the rules. And now, Jesse James realizes what's really going on. The devil himself wants hell on Earth, and with powers like these, not even the Justice League can stop him. Only one man could break the devil's deals now, but it's gonna be tricky. Issue 3, the final stretch. Deal or no deal? Holy shit, imagine being a superstitious, cowardly criminal, and this squadron of absolute weapons all come to kick your ass at once. Maxima, from the Superman animated series. She was banging. Oh yeah, Operation Hellstorm. Demons and monsters claw at the determined League, but even though their mission seems impossible, they refuse to oh shit, that is a lot of demons. But with legendary heroes like Captain Marvel and Wonder Woman leading the way, even hell itself can't stop the Justice League. If he's down here, Superman is as good as saved. If it is indeed Superman Neron wants, this dialogue casts doubt. Trickster watches as Neron scolds an underling, but the servant's life is saved when he offers Neron a deal. So if there's one thing Neron can't resist, it's a good deal. He defo shops at Aldi. The Trickster's really shitting himself now. If Neron gets that pure soul he's after, nothing will be left to stop him from turning the Earth to ash. But then, Neron's squabbling sidekicks mention one way we could give the devil his due. A word of power that even in the bowels of hell could bring down Lucifer himself. But the only word that comes to my mind is screwed, as in the Justice League are so screwed. Piece by piece the heroes fall to the horrors of hell. Even Wonder Woman, beacon of hope, starts to lose her confidence faced with such unholy evil. The only one who keeps his cool is the Pantheon-powered Shazam, Captain Marvel. Until the attacks get personal. Whispers from the walls bring visions of the hero's worst nightmares, and the poor kid inside the god body freaks out a bit, but then he steels himself and strikes like the lightning. But sadly it seems it's just Billy who's got any fight left within him. His peers in the League feel the dread of hopelessness drift into their hearts, and for good reason. They have reached Neron. Go Blue Devil, go! Redeem yourself! Dan Cassidy is still fuming at the deal Neron made him. The death of the devil's best friend for fame and fortune was not part of the deal. So BD is gonna take his soul back by force.
Didn't believe in my soul until I lost it. And now I want it back. I can't live like this. Do you hear me? I can't live like this.
Agreed. I'm sorry your friend died, Daniel. Give her my regards. Oh, don't look so shocked. You heard him. He didn't want to go on. I did him a favor. I'll gladly extend the courtesy. All you have to do is to follow his lead. Alright, Neron. Tell us what you did with Superman. We're not leaving without him.
Listen to him. Oh, you child. It's not Superman he's after, Marvel. It never was. It was you. Neron's evil has corrupted even the Justice League. All but the big red cheese have been brainwashed by evil, so now it's up to Captain Marvel alone to battle back hell itself. And his own buddies. Marvel's own optimism is his undoing. This is cool as hell. In the deepest layer of hell, one hero stands alone against Armageddon, the final hope for the entire planet. But if this is the afterlife, there should be gods and devils. Blue Devil's still alive, bitch! Absolute legend strikes again with his rocket-powered pitchfork, distracting Neron long enough for the Devil's right-hand man, the Trickster, to get up close with the hero. Holy smoke, look who crawled from the fire pits. Go Danny. Wail away, keep him distracted, and maybe I can get through to the big red cheese before he cracks. Here we go. I've only got one card to play, so let's hope Cap knows what to do with it. Marvel, wait! I heard something that sounded key. Who? Never mind. Get this. Satanis said there was one word that, if it was spoken here, might put the screws to Neron. God, I hope you know what he was talking about, cause I don't. Tell me you can guess. Oh damn, he knows which side I've been on. He knows he's got no reason to listen to me. But he's thinking about it. He parts his lips. He mutters something I can't hear. And all of a sudden, Shazam! The magic of the gods lights hell the hell up, purging the bile surging through the heroes. And now the Justice League all have clear heads, all thanks to the Trickster, pulling a fast one. The League rush Neron, but not even their powers combined could kill the Devil. We need a new plan, and lucky for Earth, the Trickster has one.
Got to get in
Wrong!
there.
You're with me. I think I'm onto something.
But, my friends, I have to help them.
And you will, okay?
We fight for the right. We can win.
Please, will you stop being so pure of heart? No, wait. Scratch that. Just think. Think about where you are. You cannot beat Neron here. Not with force. I steered you right on that word thing. Now trust me one last time. We can win. But only if you do exactly as I say. Listen carefully.
Hello, Neron. I've come to offer you a deal.
No.
Yes, I know what you want. And it's yours. My soul, free and clear. For the release of my friends. The release of Earth. And no and. Nothing else. Nothing.
Before Neron can obliterate the world's champions, Captain Marvel approaches with the one thing the Devil can't resist. A deal. Shazam's soul for the Earth and Air heroes. How could Neron refuse, especially with the Trickster egging him on? Billy Batson's spirit is drained, but unlike the rest, this bargain does not empower Neron. Stings, doesn't it?
Too soon.
Damn straight. Let me guess. Of all the bargains on all the worlds you've swindled, this was the very first deal offered that was purely altruistic, wasn't it? Everyone is selfish. Everyone wants something for himself. So long as that's the case, and it always is, deals go down sweetly. The gospel according to Neron. How sweet is this? You can't touch Marvel's soul. It's still too pure, and was offered up selflessly. You knew you had to corrupt him before you could take it, so you brought hell to earth. No dice. It didn't compromise him. He still believes that he lives in a good world worth fighting for. Then you dragged him through hell, beat him down, tempted him to rage, to destruction and murder. And still, he rejected your every temptation. You're good. Given time, you might have tarnished his soul just enough to get a finger hold. That's why I told him to beat you to the bargaining table. I know you arrogant mook. You won't pass on a deal, even a bad one. Don't look at me. You made the rules.
Trickster!
Uh-oh. I didn't think he'd take it well. At last, the devil gets his due. For the slightest shard of a second, just before the end,
he shows me his true form. And then...
Satan's darkness is lit up by Captain Marvel's pure soul, the uncorrupted spirit being too good for the devil to handle. The evil poisoning the planet is purged as humanity survives to see another dawn, all thanks to the quick thinking of the Flash's goofiest villain.
So what a trick that was. I open my eyes and presto, I'm back in a much calmer central city. By the end of the week, strangers are actually smiling at each other again. Personally, I hate that, but it's better than the alternative. Don't mind me. I'm just cranky that I engineered the greatest sting of all time, and no one saw me do it. If a demon falls in hell and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? Oh yeah. I gotta say too that I came out of this with a whole new perspective. Maybe I ought to work the side of the angels more often. Sure, the big con's always gonna be tempting. But when I someday pass from this mortal coil, I'd better have made some friends in heaven. 'Cause after this, I don't dare go to hell.
Holy shit, this is the type of story I want for Shocker, Mysterio and all those mook villains I love so much. The Trickster, one of the sillier supers on the spectrum, was taken so seriously that he tricked the devil himself. He set out to show what he's got, and he certainly pulled it off, avenging his fellow rogues and proving that just because your costume's a bit funny doesn't mean you're a joke. I love how this was also his swan song of supervillainy. After this, he tries to go straight because he knows that when he eventually dies, his ass is grass if Neron finds him again. Pretty good motivation. And so the lesson here is, even villains with goofy costumes or names deserve a shot at the big time, because they might just surprise us.